Hi, it's Sylvester, and I can be a bit of a grumpy Gus. I can be kind of a negative Nancy, and I like to throw pity parties for myself, and I complain a lot. And I'm part of this support group, and one of the things they say in that support group is that complainers don't get well. And something my therapist has said to me is that I need to focus more on the good stuff in my life. And I've been thinking about why it is that I complain so much, and I have come up with 3 reasons for why it is that I am so complainy all the time. And I try not to complain too much on my channel, so if you watch my videos, you might be thinking, you're not that complainy, but if you know me in real life, you know that I am a complainer. I do complain a lot, and I know that I've been around people like that. I know it can be so draining and so annoying when all somebody does is complain and whine and feel sorry for themselves. And so I don't want to be that kind of person. I'm trying to be more positive. But the first reason why I complain so much is because I'm a wee bit superstitious. I have this thing, and I don't know if this is my OCD or not, but I feel like this might be relatable, where I feel like if I'm grateful for something, then the universe is going to take it away from me. Like, if I talk about how happy I am, the universe is going to hear that and say, oh no, Sylvester's happy, we better do something about that, and they're going to immediately take away whatever it is that I'm happy about. Like, here's an example. I'm filming this video on my new laptop. I got a new laptop. I spent all of my savings on it, so I am now very, very broke. But I have a new laptop, which was very necessary because my old laptop was from 2013 and it was really slow and barely functioned and it was glitching. And so I really needed a new laptop. And this laptop has a cool HD camera. And my actual HD camera, which wasn't working for the longest time because the battery was just so old that I would record for 10 minutes and the battery would completely drain in 10 minutes after being fully charged. Now I'm able to use that camera and I'm able to record for like 30 to 40 minutes before the battery dies. And so I don't know why that is, but I've gone from having no HD cameras to having 2 HD cameras. And so talking about that, I'm nervous because I'm superstitious. And I feel like the universe is going to hear me talking about how grateful I am to have 2 HD cameras, and it's going to say, oh yeah, let me do something about that. And then my new laptop's going to break, and my HD camera is going to stop working again, and then I'll be back to square one, and I'll be back to using my old laptop and my bad camera. And so, again, I just feel like if I talk about the things that are good in my life, the universe is going to take them away from me. The next reason why I complain so much is because it feels like I'm bragging when I talk about my life being good. If I'm grateful and appreciative and I talk to people and I tell them that things are going well, then it's going to make people, in my experience, it makes people resentful. And it's going to make people want to tear me down and make me feel like I don't deserve the good things that I have in my life and try to make me feel bad for having good things in my life. Like, there's people watching this video who probably don't have a good computer. They're probably, there's somebody who's watching this who's probably thinking, my computer's 20 years old and it barely runs and I don't have enough money for a new computer. Look at you with your fancy new computer. And then they're going to try to drag me down and they're going to try to make me feel guilty for having a new computer, and they're going to be resentful because, well, I'm just trying to be positive and tell you about this cool thing in my life that's making me happy. To them, it seems like I'm bragging and rubbing their nose in the fact that I have this fancy new laptop. And so it's safer to just complain when I'm talking to people, to just tell them about how bad my life is rather than tell them about all the good things in my life, because that feels like they're going to become resentful and angry and they're going to try to tear me down and make me feel like I don't deserve to have good things in my life. And this comes from actual real life experience. Like, I've had people do that, So there's legitimate reason for why I feel this way, because I've experienced it. The third reason why I complain so much is because I am on disability, and I'm on disability for having mental illnesses. And so I already face a lot of discrimination because of that. There's lots of people who are like, well, I'm mentally ill and I'm not on disability, and so like, what makes you so special? I have to work 40 hours a week and you just sit there doing nothing because you're mentally ill. Like, oh, wah, you know? And so there's already people who try to make me feel like I'm not worthy of calling myself disabled because my disabilities are just in my head, you know, and because they don't think that my mental illnesses are really that bad. And so I feel like if I'm happy and grateful and I talk about how my life is good, people are going to say that I'm not really mentally ill, because people believe that if you're happy, you can't be mentally ill. Mentally ill people have to be miserable and suffering constantly, right? Especially as somebody who struggles with major depressive disorder. People think like you're not really depressed if you act like you're happy. Like if you're ever in a good mood, if you ever talk about good things in your life, that means you're not really depressed and you're just faking it. And so for the longest time, I felt like in order to prove to people how depressed I was, I had to act depressed. I had to like force it down their throat of like, my life sucks and I'm in pain and this is why I'm in pain and this is how much pain I'm in. And like, I just like constantly throwing my pain and trauma at people to be like, look at how depressed I am and look at how bad my mental illnesses are. And like, I promise you I'm unhappy. And like, I've realized now that that's stupid. I don't have to be what people expect a depressed person to be in order to legitimately be depressed. I'm allowed to be grateful and appreciative and happy and to count my blessings. And that doesn't mean that I'm not depressed. It doesn't mean I'm not mentally ill. But people are going to think that. And I just have to kind of let that happen, because it doesn't matter if somebody thinks that I'm faking my depression. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I know that I'm depressed. My doctors know that I'm depressed. The people who count know that I'm depressed. And so as long as they know, as long as like the government knows that I'm depressed, then it shouldn't matter to me if the people I talk to and interact with on a daily basis don't believe that I'm depressed enough to be on disability, you know? Because I am. I know I'm depressed. I know I suffer. I know I'm in pain. I know I have trauma. My PTSD is real. My OCD is real. My other mental illnesses are real. I'm not faking anything. And I shouldn't have to prove to anybody that I'm not faking these things, other than, again, the government and my doctor, you know, like. So like, anyways, that's why I complain so much. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be more positive, and I want to talk about things that make me happy, and I want to be able to be happy without the fear that people are going to judge me for it, or the fear that people are going to try to take away the things that make me happy. Like, I want to just be unapologetically happy. And again, I can be happy and still be depressed and still be mentally ill. I just like, overall, I want to be a happy person. You know, I don't want to be the kind of person that people dread talking to, because all I ever talk about is how bad my life is. And I am that kind of person, and I don't want to be that kind of person. So, yeah, I guess that's like my New Year's resolution, is to be more positive, complain less. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.